Orange, 3 inch, 2 inch. So 3 inch, 2 inch for sink. Shot. We can buy that stuff. Hello, guys. Be right with you. All right, how you doing? My messenger. My messenger is really crazy, huh? What's going on here? There it was. It popped up that time. All right. Hello, Barry's building. Okay, I just wanted to answer a few of your questions there. I saw you there on Ray's channel. Nice. Uh, thank you. Uh, I know you say you owned your wife for 37 years, so obviously you have an American wife, I'm guessing. Uh, and she may not want to come to the Philippines uh, yet, and it may be difficult. Hi, John Platt. How are you? It may be difficult uh, to come here and get adjusted and everything, but you have people like myself, Ray, people who've been here for a while to mentor you, to help you to understand everything about the Philippines before you ever set foot on the soil of the Philippines. That's what we're here for. And I'd be glad to help you with that. I had an 80-year-old Filipino guy was basically holding my hand for the first year I was here and taught me so much of everything that I learned. I'm going to bring the Colonel on right now, guys. So we'll do a part two from last night. It was quite fun last night. How you doing, Colonel?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I was, I was,
Guy out here named Barry, Colonel, that he wants to move to the Philippines. His wife is telling him no, and I guess he's married to an American lady. He's owned her for 37 years. So
well, God
you got a
bless.
couple options, Barry. I hope your wife's not listening because she might pick up the broom and whack you upside the head. What you're going through is going to be very, very difficult. Okay, we understand that. That's why I
Yeah.
said
Excuse me.
don't sell anything you got. Maybe just take a vacation here. You know, come for a week or two. You might go back and your wife divorces you. You know, it might be that way. But at least I would say if this is something you've always wanted to do is come and visit the Philippines, then by all means come and do it. Hi, Jimmy John. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
So,
So
so Barry, if you've been, excuse me, Mike, Barry, if you've been married for 37 years, so you're not a youngster, I take it. But there's hey Jimmy John, there's all kinds of variables in that in those situations. I unfortunately was divorced for many years before I came to Southeast Asia. So, but like Mike said, take a trip to whatever country you. This is good advice for anybody. Take a trip to whatever country you're contemplating or you think might be an option, and see how you feel when you get there. Or you can be crazy like me and stay there for 9 years and realize that you don't really like it and you like the Philippines better. So, do that. Take a trip, check out the food, check out the language, check out the fairer sex, I guess is a way to put it. And but if you're married, you want to bring your wife along, that's fine too. She might love it over here, and she might say, "Hey, let's just sell what we need to. Let's do what we got to do to get over here." If that's what you want to do. If that's not what you want to do, well, we can talk, about that on another vein, but maybe not right now.
on the side, yeah, definitely. There's Barry at 58 years old. Uh, it's
Okay.
best if you come here that you have an income, some type of income. Whether it be
Yeah.
you made enough money in your construction business, you put enough away that you feel you can retire on that, and you're not going to just jump over here and spend it all at one time and be broke. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot to living here in the Philippines, but it's not expensive. It's not expensive to buy land. It's not expensive to build a house. Uh, the long term lease that Ray was referring to is a great option. You can do 25-year lease, 50-year lease, whatever. I think even now they're allowing up to 99 years.
If you're in
But
the condo living, yeah.
well, I'm talking about no
Oh,
land lease. You can lease land now, and if somebody comes to me
okay.
and says, "Mike, I want to lease uh, your captain's cabin," for example, I have one guy there in Texas, one star. He might come on tonight. He's interested in leasing my captain's cabin, which has
Mhm.
we have a beachfront right in front of it. Right, it's just a small house with a loft room, made out of Kauai, very similar to the one I built on the beach that I'm building right now that we're almost done with, and he's interested in leasing it as a place to come to when he's in the Philippines and like make that a homestead. And then from there, he'll travel all around because Masbate is in the center of the Philippines, right? Centrally located. So that's what he's thinking of doing is just leasing it, having a place he can call his own, for as long as
Yeah.
until as long as he's alive, basically. And then,
Yeah. Leasing's a good option. I mean, you're not as a foreigner unless they've changed something to mine. You're not going to be buying land or a house unless unless you're married or with a Filipino that you trust and you want to give that gift to her. You know.
right.
But yeah, leasing. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. I forgot about that. But that's an option. If you got somebody who's willing to do that and you have the capital for it, go for it.
Right.
That's
I
what
don't
you want to
remember
do.
the movie. I don't remember McFarlane. I'm sure I've watched it at some point or another. It sounds like an older movie with Kevin Costner. I used to watch a lot of his movies. I just don't remember the
Yeah,
name off the top of my head. John
yeah,
says his
I
wife loves
remember.
Thailand. John Platt's wife wants to move to Thailand, and she's Filipino.
Well, I mean, there you go. If that's what you want to do, do it.
Yep.
You know,
And he owns a place.
home
They
tai
own a
tai
place in
nitnoy.
Batangas. Well,
Start learning
see,
Thai
John,
now.
Colonel's already done 9 years there. Colonel can tell you a
Nine and a
lot more
half.
about
Yeah,
Thailand than I can. And your wife, if she's
yeah,
listening and sitting with you, just ask the questions and Colonel will keep up with you. He'll answer all your
yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Barry,
You
looks
got to
like you're going to have
remember.
plenty of money.
Yeah, you got to
Uh,
remember with Thailand, there's so many different. It's like the Philippines. There's different areas, and each
yeah.
area has its own little wrinkle. If you're going to move to Thailand to a touristy area, Phuket, Pattaya, Krabi, even Bangkok, you're going to expect to pay more for everything. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to live rustic, like Michael's doing here in the Philippines, and you want to do that in Thailand, go up to Isan. Udon
Yeah.
Thani is a wonderful city, but much cheaper. Um,
Barry, I'm gonna
uh,
I'm gonna
it,
show Barry my house here. Just just so Barry can get an idea what you can do here in the Philippines. Okay, I'm gonna show you my house. I'm in my bedroom now, obviously. Let me just flip my camera around here. We're building our walk-in closet right now. The guy's got all the shelving done. We're getting ready to order all the doors and windows for this and mirrors. Put on this. It'll all be metal and HardyFlex construction. Okay, we have regular Western style bathroom, toilet, shower, uh, showers, regular rain shower, the works.
wait, show the
Closets,
most
lots of
important.
closets.
Hold on, Mike.
Uh,
Show the most. Go back to the CR and show the most important part.
okay, here's the most important part of a CR, guys.
Oh, it froze. I figured it froze. Right? It froze up, man. That's fun.
Let me back up.
Yeah, now it's okay.
How about now? Is that okay? You see, you see this hose right here, Barry? You got to have one of these because what you don't see in my bathroom is a toilet paper holder. Okay, we don't use toilet paper in the Philippines. Some people do, like Ray. Thank you, Ray, for coming in.
Yeah,
Ray uses toilet paper in his condo, but we don't use toilet paper here. And Ray stayed with me for a week. He didn't use toilet paper
I
that I
say
know of. I didn't
I
see
don't.
any.
Yeah, I don't see the point. I don't see the point except maybe to
Yeah,
dry off. But if you wait, a 30 seconds. You'll dry off anyway. You know what I mean?
I'll show you guys the rest of the house. My house is a 3-bedroom. We have a 3-bedroom. This is my housekeeper's room. We mounted these cabinet way up here now. It had wheels on it. You can roll around. You see the little wheels right here. We moved it up on the wall and mounted it on the wall. It's a heavy sucker too. It's up
That's
there
a
on the
nice
wall
idea.
now.
I like that idea.
Then I got another bedroom here. This is my brother-in-law's bedroom. He's got his sons visiting us. Here's my daughters in here hiding out with their cousins. So anyway, these rooms are 10 feet by 10 feet. Okay. Then we step down here to the living room, and I got my living room, my dining room, my kitchen, all in this one big room right here. And it's a modern, as you can see, it's a modern kitchen, just like you would have in the West. You know, I got a 120-liter 5-burner stove with a big oven, big old oven. Excuse me, I can cook a big old turkey in that sucker. I have to back up to show you how big it is. That's a big old oven.
That's a
You
nice
can
big
do
stove.
rotisserie chickens in it. I rotisserie the bad boy head in that sucker. And then we have standard size freezers, our refrigerator. And I have lots of power, Barry, because I am off the grid. I am 100% solar, just so you know. This is not, and it's dark, it's nighttime. And then I have freezers I run out here to make ice with because we sell ice. And these are our bags. We sell 50 bags a day now. That's how much we're selling. Here's my little cat out here, my little Persian Maine Coon. Come on, Tiger.
Hey, Mike, how much are
Come
you
on.
selling your yellow there for? Your ice?
We sell it for seven pesos
Yep.
per bag
Okay.
of ice.
All right. Yep. That's same.
So we make about 350 pesos on ice a day.
Yeah.
But we make more than that. We sell one lady is buying 50 bags a day for her
Oh
fishing
my goodness.
business, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm all off the grid, Barry. It just shows what you can do. That's all I'm showing you is what you can do here. And I've got Hardy Flex ceilings. These are not wood ceilings. These are made of cement board. We ask your mother.
Did you put insulation above there, Mike? Did you put
Do I?
insulation above above your ceiling?
I don't have any no insulation
You didn't
on it.
insulate?
It gets a
Okay.
little warm, but the house is okay.
Mhm.
It's at night, just open the doors and windows. We rarely run the
Yeah.
aircon. I ran it this afternoon.
You froze again. Hey Barry, while we're waiting on Mike, if I'm still going, yeah, that's a misnomer. A lot of people think that you're gonna live rustic in a grass hut, but that's just not the case. I mean, you can do that. You can buy a kubo and live in it if you want, but you know, no, block houses. Yeah, that's what I say. You sit there for a few seconds. It's going to dry enough. Then the shorts take care of the rest of it. Now, if you exactly. Hey, there you go. Hey, Mike, your screen's black. We can't see you. No, now we lost you. Your voice is back, but there's no picture. Now I'm frozen. Interesting. Hmm. I froze up. Good thing my mouth was closed. Nope, now I'm back, but you're not. Let's see. There you go.
My Wi-Fi has been doing this all day, acting up today. strange because I have Starlink, but I've had a lot of
That's
people
true.
in and out on my Wi-Fi, so I think it's affecting my Starlink some. But anyways, Barry's, let's go back up. Ray says, wash rag,
Right.
recommend if you have a funny bum. Furry bum, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Kubos, Barry, there are a lot of Kubos. And if you're watching my videos, you'll see we're building one right now, right on the beach. And it just went through a Category 3 storm. It's a brand new Kubo, went through a Cat 3 storm. I don't even have one of the top plate, the top sections on it yet. The roofing is there with a gap between it, about 3 feet long, because the top cap is still. I ordered it, but the guy said there was none in stock. So it even had a hole in the roofing, and it's still perfectly intact. Nothing happened. But you would be surprised how strong bamboo is. Bamboo is better than steel in some cases. Very strong material. So past the washing with the bum. I just want the stress free, and the U.S. is just getting so crazy. Well, Barry, if you come here with the kind of income you have and you want to build a house, if you're looking, I don't know, I don't want to go into, I don't know your situation where you're at right now. Your wife's probably laying there right next to you. Probably reach out and slap me or something, But if you're trying to come over here because you want to start a whole new life, because you've been with somebody for that long, you want to change lifestyle and everything, then you're going to lose everything anyway. You might as well sell what you can, pick up your money and run, You're going to lose
Yeah,
it
can I
all.
comment? Can I comment on that, Mike?
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead. All
he
right, go
brought up
ahead.
the word. He brought up the word stress. Now, quite honestly, I had a very stressful job, very stressful. And you go into a federal prison and each day, and realistically, we feel safe, but realistically, you could walk in and not walk out that day. And so you always have that in the back of your mind and the stress level, and then become management or become a supervisor. And then instead of just dealing with the criminal element, you got to deal with the staff element. And unfortunately, sometimes that can be worse than dealing with the just being honest, and some people are going to hate me if they see this and hear me say it, but sometimes it's worse dealing with the staff than it is with the criminals. So the stress level I had was extremely high, and so much so that I was feeling it in my chest. I thought, this job's going to kill me. I'm going to have a heart attack just because of the stress. And that's part of the reason as soon as I was eligible, and we'll stay away from the politics of it because there was a lot of political things involved there too. But as soon as I was eligible, I retired and I headed to Southeast Asia. I just happened to go to Thailand. I could have come here and had the same experiences, but it's a choice you make. And if you want to reduce the stress, then reduce the stress. And the way you reduce the stress is you change your situation. And sometimes that involves just like a relationship where you're changing your physical, your mental, and your spiritual sometimes. So you have to make that conscious decision of, okay, do I want to continue living this life that I'm living? I'm not happy. I'm stressed out. I just don't want to deal with it. Do you want to continue doing that, or do you want to make the change? You got to make a cognitive choice to be willing to make the changes that you're willing to make. And that was the point that I got to. And I got to the point also where, I had the fancy sports car. I had decent houses. I wasn't rich or wealthy. I was a federal employee, but I did okay. And I did have my toys, and stuff like that. I drove that Porsche like I stole it. Now I could only afford it a couple of years, but I had a blast for those 2 years, and I wouldn't trade it. However, I came to the realization that none of those things bring you inner happiness. Okay, your spiritual life is what's going to bring you inner happiness and peace. However, the material things they're just that. And the older you get, it becomes really what's the word? I was self-evident, or what? You realize that, hey, I can't take this stuff with me, and it's just money. Yeah, you need money to live off of, so you don't want to be stupid. However, it is just money. And when you die,
Exactly.
unless you're giving it to somebody, you can't take it with you. So that's why a lot of people said I was crazy, but I was willing to let go of all my material goods for the most part. I had to bring some clothes with me, and I brought stuff from some mementos and stuff from the U.S. to Thailand. Um, but I was willing to let go of everything because I came to the realization in life at 50 years old that what, things are just things, and they don't really matter. And I can go over to another country and I can start over. If I want things, I go over there and get things if I'm financially able to do. So just keep that in mind. It's your cognitive choice. Do you want to stay in a situation? And I don't know your situation. I'm not understand. I'm not judging you. I'm just
His
saying that
wife got mad at
if
him.
you're in, yeah, if you're in a situation that you don't like, get the heck out of it. You
Hi,
know.
Shasi. How are
I
you?
mean,
Welcome to our chat, Shasi. Yeah, his wife got mad
yeah.
at him,
I guess.
Doug. His wife got mad
Yeah.
at him, walked out of the room. I don't blame her. I'd get mad
Wow.
too if my husband's talking about going to the Philippines and leaving me, especially if she knows anything
Well,
about the Philippines or Thailand. But he
you know,
needs to come on
you know what?
vacation. Bring her
That's
with him.
I can
Come
relate.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come here for a
I don't think I
vacation.
would.
And that's the
Yeah, I
best thing to
wouldn't have had
start
that
with.
conversation if my wife was in the room. Which I don't have a wife right now, but if she was, I wouldn't have had that conversation.
I wouldn't have
Duh.
opened my mouth about that either.
he
But I
needs
burned it
he
again.
need he needs to come over here and hang out with somebody like Ray or hang with me, and we can share a little bit of
Yeah. Well,
experiences. And
Barry, I'm going to tell
so,
you, I like your comment, Barry. He says, I did tell my wife that she can have half, no problem, but I love her and I just don't think I can afford two places. Well, Barry, you
okay.
can afford over here. You really could. You have a place there, you have a really good income. Okay. So you can spend, for example, let's say you spend $1,000 to $1,500 or even $1,000 a month to maintain a place over here, which is that's very, very high. If you're not here, let's say, for example, you rent and it costs you 15,000 pesos for a nice place like Ray's in a condo, right? 15,000 a month. All right. That's only 300. That's less than $300, $280 US. So you got $4,200. You spend 280, you got a place to live. And that can be, negotiated with whoever you're dealing with. Maybe an Airbnb, or you got somebody who says, "Hey, I got a condo in the Philippines. It's empty. If you want to pay me to come over for 3 months and stay in it, fine. Here's how much I want." They want 15,000 a month. That's 280 times three. So you can afford it. And I would
Well,
bring your wife with you for sure. But I would start with, for example, I would start with the 29 days that they give you free visa without having to go back in. Come for a 29-day vacation. That's a long vacation anywhere you go. You can travel around, get to eat the food, meet the people, get to know people. There's a lot you can do in 29 days and really see if you or your wife or both of you can adapt and like the Philippines. Check the city life out, check the provincial life out, you know, try either one. Thank you, Shasi.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Can I interject, Mike? I
Yeah.
think you know I live.
We'll be
Granted,
here
I
in a
live
minute,
out in the
Shasi.
provinces. I don't live in the sticks. I live in a town, but it's the provinces. But I was very fortunate, maybe. Of course, people tell me around here that my neighbors tell me I pay too much rent. However, I have a. I'm not going to show my house because it's a mess because I'm in the process of packing things. But I have
Yeah.
a 3 bedroom house here, 3 bedrooms, two CRs or bathrooms, they say in the US, and I have a bodega, an outside room. I have a covered parking area. I have an outside covered dirty kitchen area, very large area, and I park my motorbike under there. I have a front porch. I have a yard that goes all the way around two sides of the house, and it's a walled in house, single story home. I pay 10,000 pesos, which is about 180 some dollars, 887, depending
That's
on the
it.
peso
Yeah.
rate. It's nothing. So
Just so you
Mike is
guys
right.
know,
If you have income, you can live. And many people don't stay in the Philippines all the time. They come here for a few months and then they go back to the U.S. for whatever their reason or their choices, or they're still working, or they have a business, what have you.
yeah,
But yeah, it's very doable because if you're not over here. Uh, and your electric bill is not expensive. Your water bill is next to nothing. Now I live by myself. My water bill is 210 pesos, and that's the bare minimum that you can pay. You have to pay that. And
Right.
so and my electric bill is, when I live alone, it's less than 2,000 pesos. But I run one air conditioner at nighttime in my bedroom. That's it. And then I run
Right.
fans. I run fans all day long.
Yeah.
So it's very
Let's get
doable.
some of these
Very, very
questions here.
doable.
So you really have enough money, Barry. That's what we're trying to tell you. And you said you don't want to come
Yeah.
alone or no friends. Well, now you know us. Now you get to know us. We live here. Okay. We'll be your
Well, bring
mentors.
your
We'll
wife.
guide you along. We'll be here if you want to come and meet us here. We'll be here. We're not going nowhere. I've been here for 14 years. I'm not going anywhere. I got a nice place. I always have an extra room. I got a balcony studio room upstairs that James and Karen stayed in when they came to visit. So we have always extra room.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Ray
I'll tell you
says,
how easy it is too, Barrett. Excuse me, Mike. Tell you how
yeah,
easy it is too, Barrett. I had a friend a couple back in April. He came over here to the Philippines first time to visit, American guy, and he came over here. Your ability financially to live in two places or to do things in the Philippines, I was able, and I don't understand. I'm not rich. I don't make a lot of money. I'm retired, but I was able to spend a whole month with him, travel to different places around the Philippines, and still be able to afford to live and pay my rent and everything else. So it's very doable. As long as
yeah,
if you're partying every night, you're drinking Red Horse every night, you're going to a bar and whatever, and you have habits or you have certain vices, then yeah, you're going to need, plan accordingly for that. I don't do any of
yeah.
that, so that's how I can live cheaply. But
If you're
I
out here
still
cutting
spend my
loose, you're
money.
going to have a problem. Yeah. We
Yeah,
can't come here and
I
cut
mean, I
loose.
have hobbies. I have hobbies. I spend my money on my hobbies.
Yeah.
Lazada loves me. Which that's a question, Mike. Mike, how's Lazada delivery to Masbate? Is it reliable or not?
Ah, well, right now it's a little difficult because we don't have a bridge or road access. Right now, you want to come to where I live because the bridge washed away in the last storm. So now
Yeah,
we
it's a
have
shame.
to come. We drive my truck to the end of the road, park in my garage. I got a garage over there. Luckily, I bought a lot and built a garage in the San Antonio barangay. So I parked my trucks. I have two vehicles there. Then I walk down the beach. I get on the boat. They take me across the little channel. I pay 5 pesos to come across the channel. And then if I
Yeah,
bring mineral water, it's 5 peso per container, groceries, 5 peso per box, like that. And
that's
soon they're
not
going to
bad.
fix the bridge. They're going to fix the bridge. And I understand they're
Yeah.
fixing the road. The road goes to my house. The other direction, I have a road that comes all the way to my driveway, right to my door.
So,
So that's
so,
coming
so to
now. They're
answer
fixing it again.
it, so to answer my question, normally, you get Lazada delivery right to your house
Yeah.
on my spot there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I
Shopee,
gotta have,
Lazada.
every once in a while, I gotta stock
Yeah.
up
Oh,
on Rotel. I don't know if you know what Rotel is, but those that live in the South know what Rotel is, and every once in a while, I gotta stock up on that if you can get it.
yeah.
You know, yeah,
I
I'm
use
on my last
Lazada.
can.
I use Lazada, Shopee, Temu. My daughter uses TikTok. They all deliver here. No problem. Who
Okay,
doesn't
all
deliver
right,
here? The
good
post office
information.
does not deliver promptly. Okay. And you probably saw my video. It took them over a year to get me some documents from the VA, mailed from Manila. It left Manila
Yeah,
like February 2024. Okay. And it didn't get to me until October or September 2025. That's how bad the mail
yeah,
system is here. We'll do another
yeah. I
section on
can.
that. I want to get Shasia. Palawan, you're from Palawan, Shasia. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And she's working in Saudi Arabia as an OFW, and she's looking for a true relationship. Okay, guys. There's a lot of guys that come on my chat, Shasia. And if you want to leave your Facebook
I,
Messenger, you're welcome to. Guys can contact you directly.
how do
Ray
you
says,
feel about
Barry,
living in Iloilo? How do you feel about living in Iloilo? I'm still single.
there you go, Shasia. See, right there. You talk to the colonel.
I'm joking.
He's still single. He's ready to mingle. Okay, a good guy.
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
go. Barry says,
set
or Ray
myself
says,
up on
Barry,
that
you'll
one.
meet a lot of great guys. It's kind of baked in. The majority of guys that choose to come here are good guys. Okay. A lot of us are good guys.
For
So
the
Barry
most
says, I
part,
did not
yes.
tell my wife she can have half. I did tell my wife she can have. So anyway, you can afford to live here. And Ray, cool, Sasha, thank you for joining us on our site. We appreciate your subscription, and we hope you can tell your friends about us also. And Shasia, if you're still with us, the guy sitting right next to me here in the light blue shirt, he is single, and he's young enough to enjoy himself and have a good time. So there you go.
Oh my good.
Ted says, "Hi,
Oh
Mike.
my
I bet you got
goodness.
a good shake over there." We sure did. You know what, Ted? Last night I was sitting right here with Doug, and we were chatting, and neither I felt nothing, and he felt nothing. It's as if there was no earthquake. We didn't feel anything move. I was sitting here just like this chatting. My camera didn't move. My house didn't move. Nothing moved here. You can look at my
Yeah.
chat from last night. You'll see there's no movement in
Yeah.
Masbate where I live. I live down in the corner. Face
Yeah, it's very sad in Cebu. Uh, the deaths
Masbate
over there.
City
It's very
sits on
sad.
one plate, and we sit on another plate. So when Masbate City moves, we don't feel nothing. This plate's over here is moving to Cebu, the one that goes from Masbate over to Cebu. It's a different tectonic plate, I guess, because I didn't feel a thing, guys.
Yeah, it's
Barry says, my cars
very
and
sad.
trucks is all paid for. I'm selling my vet. You know, Barry, when I left the US, I had just gotten divorced. Okay. I'd been single about 2 years. I pretty much got rid of everything. I had a 25-foot cabin cruiser. I had like 3 motorcycles, 3 trucks, a car, Class A RV. I just had a bunch of crap. And guess what I did with it all? It was pretty new too. I got rid of it all. I sent the boat back a voluntary repo. I sent the RV back a voluntary repo. So it didn't affect me. And I didn't care if it affected me anyway. I left the Philippines.
Yeah.
I haven't had credit for 14 years in the US. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't live there anymore.
Let me
Go ahead, Colonel.
let me interject. Let me interject. Yeah, Barry. If this is just my suggestion, everybody needs to do what they're comfortable with doing. But if you want to get rid of things because that's what you want to do it. But if you want to go back and forth, hold on to the things that you're going to want to have when you go back to the U.S. If you don't need them, yeah, by all means, get rid of them. But I noticed that a comment, Journeys and Bohol made the comment there that, rent out your house and get a management company. And that's actually really good advice. I kind of wish I had done that with my home in Florida when I went to Thailand, but I sold it. And there's no, I was Cortez. I burned the ships when I left the U.S. But
Yeah.
but I do wish sometimes or think that maybe I should have gotten a paid off my house and just gotten a management company to rent it out for me. But honestly, for me, I was trying to do stress reduction. So I didn't want to have to worry about anything in the US. So that's why I got rid of everything. Because everybody, oh, what? You got rid of your house? Yeah, why not? The only regret I have, and this is something to think about for anybody who's thinking about being crazy like I was, um, you obviously you have to maintain a mailing address. But what hurt me was um, because I sold my house in Florida. I didn't have a Florida residence address. I still claim tax domicile in Florida. But for other things, like if your driver's license expires, you can't renew because you don't have an address in Florida anymore, or
Right.
whatever state you're in. So that's the only downside. Now there's ways around it, and I'm not talking about those here, but there are ways around that. But just be aware that those are some of the little wrinkles that can happen to you when
I'll
you
tell you an
when you
easy
do
way.
like I did.
Let me give you an easy way around that. It's so simple here. You take your driver's license, you go in. If you're here for long term, for example, you get SRV, courtesy visa, or let's say you're married, you get married, or you're here, you live here and you have a residency here established, okay, and you get a Philippine driver's license. All you got to do is go to the LTO and say, I would like to get an international driver's license. They'll say, okay, sir. They'll fill out the international driver's license card. They'll say, this is how much it cost you, 2,000 pesos. You hand them 2,000, they hand you your card. Now you have international driver's license. Now you can drive in the US anywhere you want. you live in the Philippines, you have a Philippine license, you have an international driver's license with you, you can drive anywhere you want in the world. Okay, legally.
Yeah, yeah, that's all true. It's not. I was kind of referring to other things. I was just
I
using
know.
the
I know
license
you are.
as an example. But if you when you get rid of your home, this is why it was the best thing for me to do at the time. But on hindsight, I kind of wish maybe I could have done it different. But I didn't want to have anything holding me back when I went to Thailand. I didn't want to have to worry about anything. Now I had family, as my mailing address and my banking and stuff. I used my brother's address for all that and for taxes and things like that. A little funny story on that, if you don't mind. Um,
Okay, kick it up.
I filed my taxes one year, to the U.S. government like a good ex-federal employee, and using TurboTax. Well, that year I put my address on there
Who's on the porch?
as my brother in Alabama. Well, lo and behold, what 4 months, 6 months later, after the tax season was over, I get a letter from the Attorney General of Alabama wanting to know why I've never paid state taxes in Alabama. And I ended up having to make a phone call and telling this lady, look, I've never lived in Alabama, never gonna live in Alabama. And she goes, well, have you had a driver's license? No, I never had a driver's license. I'm in Florida. She goes, oh, well, when you filed your taxes, you had an Alabama address. And I said, well, yeah, because I live overseas. So it's just some little things like that happen to you. And yeah, I had to send some documents and I had to send an affidavit claiming that I had never was a resident of Alabama. And I asked her, can when she goes, I'll settle with sir, no problem, no worries, don't worry about it. I'm like, well, how do I know? Send me something. And quite honestly, she never sent me anything. But, as far as the best of my knowledge, there's no arrest warrant for me in Alabama. I've been back a couple times.
Let
But,
me tell you my
yeah, so
experience
this is
there,
little wrinkles you
Doug.
run into.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
go
my
ahead.
experience, Doug. My bank is Navy Federal Credit Union, and I have a Philippine residency. I have a Philippine phone number. Okay. I have social security here. I don't have a USA address. I have a Philippine address. My daughters get their social security right to the USA bank account right here at Metro Bank. Okay. You don't have to maintain a USA address unless you want to go get a license like you're talking about, or you're going to plan to go back. I don't, I'll tell you
Right.
honestly, I have not filed taxes because of my income level of my pension since I've lived here, since 2011, I have not filed an income tax, period. And I don't care if the IRS comes for me. I'm not going back to the USA. What are you going to get me for?
Yeah.
Not paying taxes on making $1,600 a month? That's below poverty level anyway. So I don't
Hmm.
do taxes. I don't pay the IRS anything. I don't file taxes. I don't have a USA address. So just let them know that
Yeah.
you can have it my way, the way I do it, or you can do it the way the
Yeah.
colonel does it, and a lot of guys do it. So it's
Yeah, I'm
possible.
not in that luck. I'm not in that nice situation you're in where you don't have to.
Not yet. You're not
Yeah,
married yet.
I have to. Well, I have to, and I have to follow because I'm an ex-federal employee, and it's
Right.
too easy to garnish my wage. Everything's connected. Big Brother
Well,
is
I'm an
always
ex-federal
watching.
employee
You
too.
know.
I'm retired
Well, that's
Navy.
true.
So
Well, then you're okay. You have more courage than I do. Then we'll just put it that
I don't have enough
way.
income. They basically made
Yeah.
the
See,
rules. They
I
they
do.
made the
Yeah.
rules, not me.
Yeah.
But now that I'm
Yeah.
drawing Social Security, maybe I got enough income. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
let's go back to Barry.
Yeah.
He says, let's just say I have 80,000 in the bank, and with my retirement money, do you think I should be comfortable? Yes, Barry, I do. You'll be good to go until you turn 62 and you can draw Social Security, and then you'll get another kicker because of that. So with the income you're talking
Yeah.
about, 4,500 a month, 80,000 in the bank, you got it made.
Yeah,
You
Barry.
you can
Yeah, Barry. With that kind of money in the bank, Barry, you have nothing to worry about. And if you just wanted, say you wanted to do an SRRB visa, even without any expanded courtesy or any medical or any of the other ones, just the basic SRV. Now they upped the rates, so you might have to correct me on this, Mike, but it used to be you deposit 20,000 to the Philippine Retirement Authority, and they hold that kind of like in escrow, so that if you ever leave the Philippines, you can request them to return it to you, and you will, or they will. So with that kind of money, yeah, and once you get an SRV, because I have one, and once you get that, you're gold. I mean, you can come and go as many times as you want. Uh,
Yeah.
the only thing they ask you is they want you to participate in their activities. Like I just got a notification about their Yuletide gala or whatever. They want you to attend their events and
The
everything
other thing
for the
is you have to
PR
pay,
of it.
you have to renew every year. The renewal is how much per year? 1,400, right?
Well, yeah, it's different, and they just upped it, so it's several hundred. What is it? It was 300 and some 340 for the regular SRV, and but now I think it's 500 and some. But if you're ex-military, and most of the
Yeah.
ex-military know this, if you're ex-military and you get the SRV expanded courtesy, the renewal is $10 a year. I mean, you can't beat that. Just have you, and all you need is your DD 214. You know,
Yeah.
you need to get a criminal background check in the U.S., FBI, or you can state what have you. Uh, and the other thing that I learned the hard way, I mean, I knew it, but I just didn't realize how costly it was going to be, was the apostilling of your documents. And we're kind of getting off on a tangent, but
Yeah.
I ended up having to send all my documents, and the DD 214 also. Everything has to be apostilled. So I was using the consulting agency, and I went through them, and I went through their apostilling company in California. And let's just say I had one phone call with the apostille company, and I told that nice Filipino lady that I was in the wrong business and I needed to be doing what she was doing. Yeah,
Oh,
because
man.
I spent an extra grand just to apostille my documents. So it's just something to be aware of. If you're coming to the Philippines and you're going to do something like that, apostille all your documents yourself in the U.S. You'll save a lot of money because you'll spend a lot of money shipping the documents back and forth because they FedEx it
Right.
or UPS or whatever. And yeah, I wasn't happy about that. But going through the agent, you can do it all yourself. And I used to do all my stuff in Thailand myself. All my retirement visa, renewal. I had friends that went through agencies. I never did. But when I came to the Philippines, I said, you know what? I have a little bit of extra money now. I'm just going to bite the bullet, pay the extra money, and do the SRV and go through a consulting agency. And they were great. And I went out of
That's the way to
Cebu.
do it.
And
Now, if you
yeah,
get
it was
married, if you get married, it's a different story because you have a choice. You can do SRV, which is
yeah,
to me much better visa. Or you do like I did. I
it
got the
is.
13A. 13A is a permanent resident visa. Now the difference is, like Doug was saying, you can come and go as you please through the airport. You don't have to pay anything extra. Myself, as a permanent resident, every time I depart this country, in the first year, I have to pay 1620 travel tax every trip, and I have to pay 3820 for an exit clearance the first time I leave in the year. And then if I leave any other time after that, it's 2730 or something like that, or 2750. But they lower it down by 1,000 pesos.
Yeah.
And then when the next year rolls around January, you start all over again. So if you only travel one time in a year, you got to basically it's extra 4,000, 5,000 pesos. Is extra
Right.
because you're a permanent resident. If you're SRB, you don't pay any of that. You get your ticket, you fly out.
Yeah.
You come back, you fly out again, no matter what. And they don't do nothing. And I want to tell you about my
Funny
income,
story.
though. Let me tell them about my income real quick, and then you can jump in
Good.
there.
Good.
Barry, when I came here, my income was 990 US dollars a month, my pension. And my ex-wife was getting a third of my money. Okay. So 990 a month. And I came here. And not only did I survive, I built a business. I built this house. I thrived. And that's why the name of my channel is Thriving Philippine Expat, because I thrive here now. I have business. I have many, many forms of income. And that's why I started the channel. The reason I did was because I can share that knowledge with you guys and help you guys out. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, no, the funny story about that. When I went back to Thailand this last trip, um, I went into the
Cheers.
airport and I checked in. Okay, and yeah, I had my mango tang right here. They it would be good with vodka if you're a drinker. But anyway,
That's great to hear.
so I went because the consulting they told me, oh, you still have to pay the exit tax. And I had done some reading where it says, and it's right on the SRV, the cards
Right.
you get where it says you don't.
Right.
So, but the guy goes, oh yeah, you still have to pay that. Really? So what I did, being the law-abiding expat that I am, I stood in line, okay, and I was pushing the envelope on the time. I tried to get there 3 hours early, but there was a delay standing in line. But anyway, and they made me check my carry-on. Yeah, it was, instead of using the kiosk. But anyway, I stood in that whole line, and I got up there. I handed him my SRB card and my ticket thing, and he's like, "You don't need to pay this." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Exactly.
really?" I was like, I wasn't going to argue with him. I was like, really? He goes, no, you don't need to pay. Okay, thanks. Got my card and got out of Dodge as quick as I could. So I thought, sweet, because
Yeah.
I knew I didn't have to. I knew I didn't have to pay immigration, the exit. I knew I didn't have. I was exempted from that. But I thought,
Right.
sure, they were going to get me on the travel tax, but they didn't. The guy, you don't need to pay it. I
Yeah.
said, this
Barry
is
also,
sweet.
Barry, if you go back to Ray in the Philippines channel that you were on earlier, look through his videos. He made a budget video for different lifestyle levels. So go through and watch his video. It's a really good video that Ray made that discusses
And he's
money in the Philippines. Okay.
and he's
I
living
haven't
in
made one of those. We just chat about it here. I don't make videos about it because everyone's lifestyle is different. So we kind of
yes.
address it as each person asks about it.
Yeah, and he's in Tagaytay. So Tagaytay is can be a more upscale area. I actually looked over there for a house to rent and really didn't have any luck finding what I was looking for. But yeah, you're going to spend more money in Tagaytay if you're not careful. I mean, there are places that are cheaper if you don't mind living in that situation. Now, I believe Ray's in a condo, so he's in a good situation there. But it, there are going to be a lot cheaper places to live than Tagaytay.
Yeah.
Now Ray may
So,
disagree. I didn't watch all of his video on that, but
well, Ray
but
knows where it's
yeah,
cheaper to live where I live, much cheaper to
yeah,
live where
go
I
on.
live compared to Gaitai.
Exactly.
Simple
Right. It's,
there.
it's cheaper.
Uh,
It's cheaper where you're at than where I'm at right now. So you
yeah.
for sure.
Barry Building said, I
And
saved all my life. Like I don't drink. I never smoked a cigarette. That's awesome. Uh, PK does brew alcohol though. And tonight, guy, I got Red Horse because my mule, I had a whole case of mule back here. We had a party the other night, birthday party that we had karaoke. Everybody was watching us, and we posted it up on our live feeds. But the uh, the mule, the lady told me she was going to buy a case of mule, right? Instead, she got my case of mule, my last case, and she put it in the fridge, and I all drank it all. But now I'm sitting here with no mule again. So tonight I went down to my mother-in-law's house and got a Red Horse. Had my daughter go get it for
yeah,
me. That's
yeah,
another thing
nice Ray.
here.
I got to watch that video Ray made on that. He said he did it
Yeah.
for different levels. Yeah, everybody should watch that.
PK says, I wonder if the bridge being gone will have any impact on land prices while where you're at. Uh, I don't think so, PK. But I know what?
Make him
I
go down.
raised my mineral water because it's a pain in the butt to get mineral water here now. So I raised mine from 45 up to 60 pesos per container now. That's what I'm charging them because it costs me it costs me to bring it, transport it from the mineral water in Balut now. I got to bring it to the boat. I got to pay guys cigarettes to bring it on the boat and load it for me. And then when we get to the other side, I got to pay guys cigarettes or money to load it into my chariot and then bring it home. So the gas bringing it up, you know what? $60 a bottle now, or 60 pesos a bottle is what I charge now. No cheaper. But yeah, as land goes, it doesn't affect a thing. The swamp land, and she still wants 1,500 a month for it. People have a
Yeah,
set thing here, guys. And let's say you buy a motorcycle. I'll just give you an example. You buy a motorcycle, you pay 35,000 pesos for it, or 50,000, just as an example. Okay. Let's say it's a brand new bike and you can get it for 50,000, which is, you can't, but let's say that. You drive it away from the motorcycle shop. In the US, it would depreciate by 10,000 right off the bat.
I'll be right back.
Okay. But here, you
Yeah.
pay 50,000 for it. And when they go to sell it 3 years later, they still want 45,000 for it. Okay. That's how it is here. They'll still ask for 45,000 for that motorcycle they drove for 3 years. So things
That's
here,
true.
the depreciation is a lot different from the US in value of everything. Appreciation and depreciation. It's just a totally different game. And you can buy land easily, but it's hard to dispose of land. Okay, it's much harder to sell land than it is to buy land. I own 7 properties,
Yes.
and I'm an American. I'm
Hey,
married to a Filipina. Guess whose name they're in? They're not in my name.
hers.
The way
Charm.
they say it, here's how the document reads. It says, Charm Jorge White married to Michael Lee White. Okay. Which automatically, based on those words, gives you 50-50 conjugal property. Okay. That's the way the Philippine law reads. So you can't own it, but you can own half of it. Should you become divorced, you would either have to sell your half or marry another Filipina and put it in her name. And can you imagine that? What are you going to do? Split your property with your wife and put it in your girlfriend's name in the same village where all her relatives live? I don't think so. That's why most guys, they walk away, they complain, oh, I lost everything, blah, blah, blah. It's because they didn't pursue it in court. Because pursuing things in court here can take you 3 to 5 years or more. That's why they
6.
don't want to fool
Yeah.
with it. So they just easier to say, keep it. I hate your guts, keep it. And they walk away mad.
Yeah.
And then they go blast, blast, blast all over social media about how they got screwed in the
Yeah.
Philippines. You don't get screwed on
Except
your own accord.
generally speaking, there's no divorce anyway. So yeah, I
That's
don't
right.
know. It seems to me like that's all moot point. But I get it because they have the laws that cover that. But there is no divorce. So unless
Well,
you're
you
a
can get
foreigner and you
divorced.
got married in a foreign country, you get an
You can
annulment.
divorce. No, you can divorce here. If you're a foreigner, you can go to the USA or to Guam or US territory. You can divorce your wife and bring back the
Yeah, well,
papers to
that's
her.
what I was just saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying. But once you file, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe once you file here, you put your marriage on record here in the Philippines. Then you still got to go back to your country. You can't get the divorce here. You got to go back to your country, get the divorce,
Right.
and then bring it here, and then apostille that, and then they'll let you do it
They'll
that way.
honor it, and
Well,
you give her her
unlike
copy.
Thailand now, where if it's no fault and you both just won out because of whatever reason, or she threatened you with a butcher knife, or or she cheated on you with the police officer. Not that I'm saying any of that happened to me. Yeah, but anyway, it's 20
They
minutes in
have
and out.
divorce laws. Yeah, they have divorce
It's in
laws
and
there.
out. Yeah, and
Nice.
it literally takes 20 minutes, and
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, it's kind of
Wow.
crazy. It's too easy, but for an expat, and you don't want to get everything from you, it's a safety net. So
But let's say, for
yeah,
example,
you
you're
just
in
got to
John
be able.
Platt's situation, right? You're in John Platt's shoes. You're married to a Filipina. She wants to live in Thailand. You take her to Thailand. You catch her cheating. So you go into Thailand court and divorce her. 20 minutes or no?
Yeah,
You have to be married in
I
Thailand to do
if
that?
yeah, there's okay. I don't
I
want
didn't know
to.
that.
I'm not an expert on that part of it because there's
You
some
only know because you're
intricacies
married
there.
there.
It,
Okay.
yeah, I married there. So, but an outsider coming in, I think it's going to be a little bit. They're not going to be able to just go into the Thai magistrate and get a divorce. They're going to have to go back to the country they got married in and file the divorce there. But
Okay.
I'm not an attorney. So I don't want to get into that. But I do want to comment.
Okay.
Barry's trying to push.
Yeah.
He's pushing my buttons here because he says he's
Yeah.
got
You got
Rotel in the
Rotel.
pantry. Yeah,
Yeah.
some people. I was going to go pick him up at the airport if he came here, but I might not do that now. Now, if he brings
Yeah.
some Rotel with him, I might do it for some Rotel. Yeah, because they kind of
Ray,
get you on Lazada. But that's funny. I'm just
Ray,
joking,
knock it
Barry. But
off.
that's funny.
You hear what he says? Ray says, Colonel Signal, hey, pucker up,
Yeah,
Buttercup.
yeah. And you know what? Ray's talking out of both sides because I've talked to Ray on the streams and whatnot. So and I told him ever since he decided to go like me and shave his head, he's a whole lot more sexy now than he was before. And it helps you dance better. He
Yeah.
just
Move through the air
he has
faster.
now he's messing with me, but he has opened himself up to a whole new world.
Oh,
That's why who's he got? Lynn now. I mean, come
yeah.
on. I
Yeah.
mean,
Pucker up,
that
Lynn. He's
yeah, we're
telling
not.
Lynn, I'm going to go pucker up with Colonel now. What's Lynn going
Oh
to
my
do? Next time
goodness.
she sees him on the live feed, she's going to knock the hell
I
out of that
just
guy.
I just got to tell you. I mean, on the for real, Ray, he's a little too tall for me. I just, yeah, I like I like the petite short ones. He's
Yeah. Mary says, I really appreciate you guys. Not many people are so transparent and open to strangers. Well, Barry, we are. We're glad you came in and we're glad that you subscribed to us and you're going to hang out with us. We do live feeds almost every day and we do a lot of videos. I think I got like 500 and something videos of the Philippines. So you're welcome to just go on over. I do fishing trips. I own 3 boats. I'm really settled in here. Okay. And you'll be able to see by my videos exactly how settled in I am. I'm very settled into Masbate Island and I love it here. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't leave here for nothing. And don't get me wrong, I lived in the city. I lived in Metro Manila, Las Piñas. I'll tell you the place I lived. I lived in Rojas City. I lived in Naga City, Calamba in Laguna, Las Piñas, 2 places, and Bacoor City. So I was in city. And then in 2020, when the pandemic hit, by then my house is already built. And I think I have some videos that show the day we moved here during the pandemic of March of 2020. My house is totally empty. Okay. And from 2020 to today, you can see my house is no longer empty. In 5 years, that's how much crap you accumulate. So don't worry about
yeah.
being able to handle it here. It's easy here, Barry. It's simple. And we're going to help mentor you and get you adjusted where you will feel right at home. The only thing that you'll feel is jet lag when you fly here. That's it.
Yeah,
What's going
and
on, buddy?
I like what Ray wrote there. That's the thing, Barry. Over here, people speak to each other, and in the U.S., if a stranger comes up to you, you think, what do they want? Here, we
Yeah.
just talk to each other like it's normal, and that's true. And honestly, I said last night, I'm kind of an introvert in a crowd, but I will talk to people because I love to talk and talk too much usually. But they I when I went to Iloilo, the gentleman that I met who used to have the same job as me at one time, he was inviting me to meet other expats and stuff, and that's really not my thing.
Yeah.
I It's just not my thing. I have few friends, and I choose it that way because I'd rather have a few strong friends than a bunch of acquaintances that stabbing me in the back. But I took the time and I went to some of the events. They have expat events, which I don't usually participate in. But I thought, you know what? I'm coming here new. I don't know anything about this city really, except for what I see walking around because I walk everywhere. And so I met some people, and I don't know these people from Adam. But yeah, we sat there and we talked like we were old friends, shared stories, shared experiences, talked about needs, wants, and desires. Renting, buying, the woman you're with. Well, we don't want to talk about that too much, but I'm just saying, the opportunities that are there for you, and so it's kind of nice. Now, will I
Yeah.
get together all the time with the expat groups? I highly doubt it, but I will. I met some and that's just interesting, Mike. Uh, just by chance, I met a couple other guys at the coffee shop, and they like to go on their motorbikes, and they like take little excursions
Yeah.
on the day, and we were like, I was like, yeah, hey, I enjoy doing that. I'll go on the motorbike for a little bit. I said I'm gonna have to stop quite a bit. He said, don't worry, because we stop because they're older than me. We stop all the time. I'm like, I said, hey, as long as
Yeah.
you're willing to do that, yeah, I'll get together with you. And I don't know
Yeah.
my point is this, and with what Ray's saying, I don't know these guys, never met them in my life. They both happen to be Americans. There's a lot of Americans in this country.
Yep.
Um, you'll see more Americans in the Philippines in a concentrated area than you will in, say, Thailand, depending where you're
Right.
at.
Yep.
So,
There are a lot here. What
well,
I don't do is I don't live where foreigners live. They're very few. I don't know
I'm
where my
going.
wife went. My wife's not here. She got out of the house somehow. My son is here. Son's here sleeping, but I was going to introduce Barry to my wife, see my wife, but I've been married to my wife since 2013, January 2013. And you still there? Oh, what happened here? I lost my feed. There we go. Boy, my
Yeah,
Wi-Fi's really
I
acting
got
up.
a well, I got a phone call, and I think that messed up things on my end.
Uh, Ray says,
Yeah,
Barry, you
somebody's
can
trying to
afford
call
a
me.
nice air-conditioned condo or house, someone to cook and clean for you, groceries, eating out often, streaming services, trips from your home base on your budget. And that's true. On the money you have, Barry, 4,500 a month, if that was just your income that you had, you didn't have to split with somebody, that's what your income was, you would live like a king over here, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay. Guys live well on 2,500 a month. Okay. 4,500 a month, you would live extremely well. And what I say is don't touch the 80K. That's your emergency
yeah,
money. Don't
yeah.
touch
Don't
it.
touch it. I
I had
agree.
12,000
Hey,
emergency money. My biggest mistake was putting my 12,000 into a joint account with my first girlfriend, who I thought was going to become my wife, you know. And I built a spa. I was running a spa on Aguirre Avenue in Parañaque, BF Homes, very wealthy area, nice everything. I built this big, beautiful spa, and when I told her that our relationship was a bunch of crap, I was moving out, all went to hell. She emptied my bank account. She emptied the business account. She basically threatened to have me deported out of the country, and because Filipino women here are extremely jealous. So coming here with the
yeah,
wife might be a good thing, You have somebody that
I'm,
you're
I'm,
comfortable
yeah,
with. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. I'm jumping down here a little bit. Mike
Yeah, I
PK
had to go
says
back to
he's
catch
going
that
to.
one with Ray.
Yeah,
Uh,
just go back. Go back if I jump too far ahead. But PK says I'm going to sell my house because its value tripled in the last decade. Then I'm going to buy one or two inexpensive properties here because
yeah,
those each. I'm soon here. He means the Philippines
U.S.
will be
No,
able
in
to
the
be rented
U.S.
out for. Okay, all right. Well, then never mind with what I was going to say because I thought he
Yeah.
was saying that he was going to buy some properties here in the Philippines and rent them out. And I wanted to say, just be careful
Yeah.
because you're not going to get the rent that you're going to get in the U.S.
No,
Excuse
he
me.
wants.
So,
Me and PK talked
depending
about
where
it.
you go
He's gonna sell this property that he lives in. He's gonna buy a couple of cheap properties, set them up as
in
rentals,
the U
and use that for income
in,
for the Philippines. That'll work out
in
perfectly.
the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah, that's a smart.
Barry,
I
I
have
see
I
you.
have a
You
friend
said I
who's
have
trying to
so
do the
much
same thing.
crap. I just want to sell everything, and the longer you're in any place, the faster you're gonna accumulate crap. Charm, say hi. Charm, come here, hon. Say hi to the guys. A lot of
Hey,
them haven't
Barry,
met you yet.
Barry, that's not a dumb question. He asked which country's better, Thailand or Philippines. I would say, Barry, go back and watch the stream that Mike and I did. Hey, Sean, that Mike and I did last night, where I talked about my opinion on that. It really comes down to what you like better. Thailand is way ahead infrastructure over the Philippines, but the people is what makes the Philippines for me.
Yeah.
This and
Yeah.
the language barrier.
Renting a house, Barry, renting a house is a good idea. You're going to come here. If you rent, it gives you options because you can always, they like to have a 1 year lease when you rent. Okay.
Right, right.
They want you to pay in advance, checks in advance for the 1 year you're going to rent from them is what they really like. Uh, it's sometimes difficult to find a month to month where you pay monthly, but normally they'll ask you for first month's rent, last month's rent, and don't expect to get it back. You're not going to get it back. It's not like in the US. You know, unless you're an extraordinary person, you might, depending on who you're with, you know, maybe some high rise condo, maybe you're dealing with a foreigner, you pay first and month, you leave the place pristine, they'll give your money back. But in the Philippines, dealing with Filipinos, I never got nothing back on any house I rented ever. They want first and last month's rent, but the way you do it is you don't pay your last month's rent. Okay. You pay it when you move in, but when you move out, you don't pay that last 30 days you're there, and they can't do anything about it. If you want to stay 2 months to get your first and last month's rent, your deposit back, then just fail to pay them. They can't kick you out. Okay. They can't just kick you out. So you can go 1 or 2 months and then move the hell out. And that way you kind of get your money back that way too. Uh, Ray says that's the thing. People over there speak to each other. In the US, if you're a stranger comes out. Yeah. What we talked about earlier. And you know, even here in the Philippines, if I'm in the mall, in Gasano Mall, which is my local mall here, I'm walking through the mall, I see a foreigner. If he's on the other side of the mall, I don't walk across and say hi to him. If we're walking down the same area, I might say hi to him then. And usually they don't even bother to say hi back. So my
Yeah,
experience with
I've
foreigners,
had, yeah,
it's been
I've
online
had both
about say,
experiences.
yeah,
Yeah, some will acknowledge you, say hello, and strike up a conversation. Some just make others ignore you, and you're like, okay, whatever, dude. Drive on,
yeah.
drive on. But
Well, Barry, we talked about
PK,
Philippines yesterday. We talked Philippines and
yeah,
Thailand. Which one's better yesterday? And the reason Colonel is in the Philippines now, and I've been to Thailand, and I'm in the Philippines now, is because obviously we both think the Philippines is a better country to live in. Okay, for a number
yeah,
of reasons, right?
yeah, and
Everybody has a different
Ray,
view.
yeah, Ray and PK say that it's based on your preferences,
Yeah,
and I always preface everything I say with it's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Um,
yeah,
it's what works for me. I'm not going to say right or wrong,
right.
because I see a lot of comments on feeds and stuff where people, oh, Thailand's so much better than the Philippines, and I want to say why. And they want, the infrastructure. Yeah, okay, they bring out all the things where Thailand is better than the Philippines. Well, okay, but that's a given. But you know that when you go to the East Country, you already know that. So it's not like it's a big secret or you're going to be surprised by it. But I tell you what, when I came to visit the Philippines, and I was walking to Walter Mart up in Malolos area, Bulacan, and I had some guy my age, Filipino guy, very well dressed, came up and started talking to me. Hey, how you doing? Are you American? Yeah, I'm American. He goes, oh, great. He goes, I used to work over there in the U.S. for a little bit, but I'm from the Philippines, and we talked about this, that.
Yeah. Wi-Fi again. We still here, guys.
And
We're back
do a little
again.
dance again. There we
I
go.
thought you got on
Okay.
the. Did you get on the phone or something again? The screen froze.
Now, Now I just started
Yeah.
getting the circle of death like the old Xbox. But no, I
So
don't know what I
basically,
don't know if
it's
it
preference. It's preference
yeah, I
is
don't know
all
if
it
it
is.
caught what I don't know if they caught what I was saying or not, but now and I don't even remember now.
But the other
2
thing
seconds
is, you're
ago.
talking to the guy in Malalos. I've been to the Malalos in Bulacan. I've been
Yeah.
exactly where you were at. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Because I used to have
Yeah,
customers out there.
I was actually in Tabang and at the Walter Martin Tabang. And that fella, I didn't know him. He didn't know me, but he talked to me for about 30, 35 minutes in the hot sun, perfect English, and that's when,
Yeah,
and I don't know if you caught me saying this, but that's when I decided. That's funny behind your head there, Mike. Uh,
I know my kids are doing
your
something to me.
kids, yeah, your kids are messing with you. That's funny. But
They got
no,
drumsticks over top of me, like I'm gonna play my head with a
yeah,
drum.
yeah. My head would be better for that. But
Yeah,
they, yeah, that's when it really hit me when I said to myself, what in the
I'm
world am I
finding.
still doing living in Thailand when I can
I'm
come
wondering
here
what Barry
and speak
Barry
English?
said.
It's just
BS. What was the BS for
I
though?
don't. I don't know. I was trying to figure that out myself.
PK
Ray
was
was
saying
saying pros
that's
and cons to both.
right. Lower cost of living, better infrastructure are pros for Thailand. Being able to
Yeah,
talk to people is a
everything.
big bonus. And then
Yeah,
PK said, but
everything
that's
was right on the
preference.
money.
And then Barry said BS. Barry, what do you mean by BS? Can you help us with that? We all know what BS means. I'm just not sure what part of the conversation that was BS.
Yeah, I don't know. Barry didn't
Maybe
become a
when
bot,
PK
did
said
he?
that's 100% based on opinion. Barry, we did not see
Yeah.
the bathroom. I didn't see the bathroom you were building, but I haven't been to your site yet. And Ray said he's subscribed to you. And as soon as I leave this chat tonight, I'm going to go over and subscribe to you and I'm going to check out the bathroom you're building. So
PK.
evidently you're planning on staying in the US if you're building a new bathroom, right? I think you would love it.
PK is funny. It kind of makes me wish I had joined the military. LOL. That's PK. Yeah, and PK. I tell you what, when you go, if you want to get that SRV visa, having been in the military, having that DD 214, that's a blessing. It saves you a lot of money. But all said and done, not counting my transportation to Cebu because I decided to go to Cebu to do it, which I didn't have to, but I wanted an excuse to go visit Cebu, and I spent about $4,000 for my SRV. That's with the application, with what I had to do for the expanded courtesy, which was $1,500, $1,400 to apply, and then the apostilling, and then the consulting fee. So but I did it for about $4,000. All
Yeah.
said and done. But I
And
had prepared for that before going into it. I had saved up my money and prepared for that. So it was no skin off my back just to do it.
I would
And
say
what a
the
blessing to
biggest
have it done.
plus, though, having been to Thailand and having lived in the Philippines, the biggest plus to the Philippines is that 95% of the people speak English. In Thailand,
Absolutely.
very few speak English. You're going to use
Yeah.
Google
And,
Translator a lot, even at the
yeah.
restaurant. Walk in the restaurant,
Un,
you're
un,
going to be Google translating what you want to eat because they just don't speak English.
yeah.
Very
Unless
few.
you're in a tourist area. But the tourist areas, you're going to
Yeah.
have a lot easier time. But it's
Yeah.
broken English. Now, some of them speak very good English, because quite honestly, especially if it's the women, they've had foreign boyfriends, and their English is actually really good because they've spent some time with them, and they pick it up.
Right.
Especially the younger ladies, it's a lot. Everyone knows when you're younger, it's a whole lot easier to pick up foreign languages than when you're,
Right.
as old as Mike, because he's older than dirt, and
Yeah. I can't
I'm
pick up that
still young.
language to save my life. I cannot get this Messiah down. I tell you, I got a few words
Yeah,
and I use them all the time. That's why I remember them. But if it came to learning this language, I speak
well,
English.
I learned.
They'll
I
understand me.
learned a good I learned a good word from James and Karen Adventures, or
Okay.
James and Karen Live now. And Karen taught me "ano." That's the best word. I mean, I can speak a little "ano."
I
If
know.
I don't "ano,"
I
yeah, I
know.
love it. So it's just,
What?
yeah. Whenever I don't know "ano," and then they look, oh,
And
you
your
speak,
next your
yeah.
your next best word, your next best word is bucket. I know bucket. What and why?
Well,
If you could do those two, you can answer the questions every time. You know,
Well, you taught me a
bucket.
new one. My other favorite one is when you're on the buses and whatnot, and the annoying vendors come onto the buses trying to sell you stuff. Too big. The bottle of water too big. I
Too
finally
big.
figured
Yeah.
out. I finally figured out what that was. I keep hearing. I'm like, what in the world? And I finally put two and two. Oh, he's selling bottled water. Okay, two. Okay, and
Well,
and
here's a
and
better one for
ice,
you. Here's a better one. Remember
yellow.
this one. When the beggars come up with their hand out, walang pera,
Voila, voila.
walang
Now
pera,
I know Walang, but I didn't know the
WALANG,
second part. Yeah, I know
pera.
Walang, but
Pera is
Bara. I
money,
did.
no money. Pera,
Bara.
walang
Okay.
pera, no
And
money. Or
P-A-R-A?
Hindi, PERA, pera.
P-E-R-A. Okay. I knew Walang, but
Yeah,
it's funny when I say that. It doesn't matter when I say that to them. They still look at me like, ah. And then I love this, and
Hindi. Just say
please
Hindi.
please understand. Please understand for any Filipinos that are watching this. Okay,
Yes.
this is not meant as disrespect at all. at all. I love you guys. I really do. I love it here. But sometimes I have a warped sense of humor. Maybe it's my time working in the prisons, but I'm kind of twisted. So, and I also found out it's illegal for them to beg, and it's illegal for you to give them money, but they don't
Of
enforce those
course.
laws.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I love this. I love this. And when I had kids, Filipino kids living with me, the one teenage girl, she used to do this to me all the time.
Yeah. Wants money to eat.
So yeah, so I start doing it back, and then they look at me like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, why is this foreign?" I'm like, "Yeah, you give me something to eat, and I can give it back to you, and then you'll have something to eat too." And they just, and then the my ex girlfriend, she's like, "Don't stop doing that. It's so disrespectful." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, as a foreigner, we feel like it's disrespectful when they come up and do it." And then once I found out from the attorney that there's a Filipino law where that's actually illegal, I don't feel guilty anymore. I really don't. And I don't
Well,
treat them badly because I don't want to do that. I don't want to
well, like
treat anybody badly. But
Ray says,
I don't
saying
feel
Hindi
guilty
is
anymore.
rude. If you say Hindi, that's final. That's no. And that is kind of
Yeah,
rude to say to someone. If you tell them I have
I
no
just say
money, or
well,
what I do is when there's beggars out there, I just say, "Can I have 5 pesos?" I show them my pocket's empty. Can I have 5 pesos? And if the guy,
yeah,
he actually had a little kid before, he'll reach in his pocket and give me 5 pesos. I say, hold
yeah.
on. I go to my wife. I say, give me 20 pesos. I'll give him 20 bucks
Well,
and it's 5 bucks, because to
yeah,
me, if he's going to willing to give me his money, okay, now I can give you something. But if he's just out here
yeah,
begging with his hand out, like every old man that
yeah,
comes up to you, he's like this,
hmm
and they
yeah,
bug the hell out of and
yeah,
you wave no, or you say "Walang pera," or whatever
yeah.
you want to tell them. But
I'm used to it. I'm used to seeing it,
"Walang
and I
actually."
and I expect it. However, in Manila one time, here's a little story, real quick. I was in a grab, and we were, how they like to gather at the intersections and stuff. So
Oh
we
yeah,
we were stopped, and a young boy came up to the window, and he's tapping on the window,
yeah,
and the driver's trying to tell him to go away. He's doing the thing, money, money. Well, I reached in my pocket. I said, you know what? I had a weak moment, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to give him something. Well, all I had was like 3 peso coins. That's it.
more than
So
enough.
I roll down the window, and I give it to him, and he looks in his hand, and he looks at
Oh
me with
no,
this really like ticked off look, and I'm like,
yeah,
what? That's all I got, dude. I'm not giving you a thousand
yeah,
peso bill. He stacked the coins up on the window, on the gasket around the window, and walked away. And I
yeah.
thought, doesn't that
He's
beat all,
insulted.
dude?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was insulted. And I'm like, you know what? You're out there begging for money. I give you all that I have, and it's not good enough. Now I know it was nothing. I
yeah,
get it, but you don't be disrespectful back to somebody
exactly.
who, because for me, I'm hard hearted sometimes, and usually I don't care, and
Right.
and that's just keeping it real, people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
not perfect. Okay, I'm a Christian, but I'm not perfect.
I'm going to
And
go back to Ted for a
but
minute. Ted says Filipinos can be
yeah,
jealous and have a temper. And I know you know all about this one. He says, but Thai women can be on a whole other level from what he has heard and seen. You can tell us about
yeah.
your experience. Or you don't want to, it doesn't matter.
No, I'll tell it. I'll tell it. Okay. I was, I decided that I was going to fall in love, and I met a woman. She had her own stall in Bangkok. Everything seemed great. She was so sweet. She was kind, closer to my age at the time, and I thought, okay, she works hard. She hustles. She's selling ladies' underwear, which is really smart in Thailand, and maybe anywhere. But so I met her, and we got married. But we were having a discussion one evening about the government or about something, and I didn't agree with her. So because I didn't agree with her, she went from 0 to 1,000 on the anger scale, pulled pulled out a butcher knife in the kitchen, one of my big knives, and came at me like she was going to stab me. And that's when I was like, you know what? I did not come to Thailand after working 20 some years in a federal prisons around America to have some Thai lady stab me to death when I had to worry about that every day at work.
Yeah.
So I gathered up all the knives. and I hid them from her, and she had no access to knives for about a month or so. And then I thought, okay, okay, and then she, she's, I'm sorry, whatever she called me. I don't remember. It's been too many years, but I'm sorry, Doug, and whatnot. I don't know. I was crazy. I said, yeah, you're crazy, and you don't need to be. There's no reason to get that angry about just because I don't agree. We're not always going to agree, sweetheart. That's
Right.
just life. But you learn how to cope and deal with that. And everything was fine. I put all the knives back. A few weeks later, same thing. I don't know what she got mad about this time. I'm not a cheater. I wasn't doing anything. Wasn't flirting. Wasn't doing any of that. But something I said, I guess, just rubbed her the wrong way because I have a knack of doing that, saying things that rub people the wrong way. And she came at me with the same knife again, and I was like, "Oh, no, 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 that's not happening." And I had to disarm her that time. The first time I put a chair between us. And then, in Ireland too, she laughed at me. Oh, you really thought I was going to stab you? I'm like, I don't know what the heck you were going to do to me. I would never kill you. I said, well, yeah, because I'm your ATM. I'm the bank for you. It's not like that. I love you. Okay, yeah, right. And then, but
That's
the
the
second
level Ted,
time,
Ted said that's the
yeah,
level he
well,
was talking about, though.
oh, I know what happened the second time. The second time was when I told her, you know what, this isn't working out, and that's when she
Oh,
grabbed the knife again.
ooh,
And that's when I said, okay, this
definitely not
time
working.
you got to go. And so what she did was she moved into the shop that we had. I was renting two places. I had my house and I had the shop. So she moved in. She goes, I'll move into the shop. I go, yeah, that's a good idea. And then another time after that, before the divorce was final, she tried to
Hi,
run me over
James.
with her motorbike and ran into the gate and bent the rail. What do you call them? On the gate. She
Yeah.
bent the gate, and I told her, and then another time she climbed over the gate and was trying to come in my house because she was convinced that I had a lady in there, which I did not. That's more or less something she would do, not me. And
Right.
I stopped her. She's walking up the sidewalk to me, and I kind of stopped her. She like pushed on me, and I just kind of like made her go to the side. Oh, you hit me! You hit me! I'm going
Oh,
to the police.
shit.
You hit me! And I'm like,
Wow.
no, I did not hit you. And here's the thing. She's probably never going to see this, so I can say it. And she's okay now, but don't ever marry a Thai woman whose name is Porn, Porn, and it's pronounced pawn, but it's spelled porn. That should be a red flag right there, you know. But
Why
that's
did
her
her
nickname.
parents name her
Her,
that?
her, now they didn't. See, now you're going to get me on another story. That her name, her real nickname was Nong, and which was more fitting, Nong. But no, but anyway,
No,
she
no,
she
no.
when she split, what happened was, and this is kind of sad, but her first husband, he died. He was killed in a motorbike accident.
I
So
thought
she
it
went
was
to the
stabbing.
monks. Now she wanted it. Now her father. That's all. Anyway, whole different story. But she went to the monk, the Buddhist monks, and she's told the Buddhist monk, "I want to start a new life. My husband, and I want to change my name, change my whole life." And so the monk told her, "Okay, your name is now Panchaporn." So that's how she got Panchaporn, and uh, yeah, it's not there anymore. But and her nickname then became Porn. And I told her one day, I said, you got a really bad for an American. You got a really bad nickname. What do you mean? So I had to explain to her what porn was, in English. And she's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, wow." Well, she goes, "Oh, it's not porn, it's pawn." Pawn. I said, "Oh,
Porn.
okay." I said, "Okay,
Porn.
okay, sweetheart. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, whatever you said. No, no. What I said was okay, like they do in time. Up to you. Okay, up to you.
Up to
And
you.
so that was kind of funny. But the last time, this back to the story. The when she came at me with a knife, the last time, I actually had to go to the police on that one. And what I also did, the story. the street, they say soy in Thai, that I lived on, all the houses on that soy were owned by the lady at the end of the soy. They called her the boss. I think she had some mafia connections also. But you didn't mess with this lady. Well, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to fix porn. Because I'm tired of this nonsense. When she ran her motorbike into the gate and broke the steel,
The bar. Yeah.
I can't think of the word. But
The latch, the
I went
gate
to the boss.
post.
Yeah, yeah, it was part of the gate, the steel, and just slats or whatever. I went to the boss and I said, hey, my ex just want to let you know she's causing problems. She ran her motorbike and she broke your gate. She what? I said, she broke the gate, and I showed her the picture of it. That two of them were bent in. She said, "You tell her to come see me." So I said, "Porn, hey, the landlord, the boss, she wants you to come see her about the gate." I didn't call the police, but I said, but she wants to talk to you because I said this house doesn't belong to me. I rent this house.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
belongs to her. You're not hurting me unless you hit me. You're hurting her. Well, she did. She went to see the lady that owned that house, and I guess the lady said whatever she said in Thai because Porn was very apologetic to me, and she goes, "That'll never happen again." But then I went back. I went back to her. Said, what did you say to her? She goes, I told her that she's not to ever come here again, and if she does, I'm calling the police. And if a Thai person calls the police on another Thai person, more than likely something's going to happen, especially an influential person like this lady. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, that never happened again. But yeah, it was just crazy talking about
Let's
the
move to
anger
the
issues.
comments real
Now,
quick. Let's go back down these
yeah,
comments real quick. Ray says the
let
problem
me
isn't
just
giving
say,
money to someone struggling, but 90% of the people are struggling. If you give to the first, then everyone is watching it, and then you have a crowd. Exactly right. PK says every cent and peso counts when you're really hungry. I've had more than a couple of times where I didn't have anything to eat for a week plus. And he says, I would have happily accepted the 3 pesos. Even now, having more money, I would still happily accept that 3 pesos. Ray says, Karen is a pushover. You just have to make her laugh. And I saw earlier that James said, Karen doesn't like the word no. Don't tell Karen a no. Uh, so Barry's Billy says, sorry, guys, I had to
I
step out
love
to
it.
feed my chickens. I have chickens here too, Barry, but I can afford the help, and you can too, to go feed them for you. You don't have to do that
That's
here in the
funny.
Philippines.
Uh,
PK says later, Barry. So he went to feed his chickens. Ray says, Colonel, I still don't think you've connected with me on Facebook. And then Ted says, yeah, you probably would have gotten stabbed because, yeah,
I think
that's
I did.
the temper they have. You know who has a worse temper than Thai ladies? You know who does? Koreans. You don't want to date or marry a Korean. Their temper is worse than Thai. I guarantee you. They won't just
I
try to
tend,
stab you and threaten you. They will cut your neck. It happened to a guy on
yeah,
my submarine. His wife
yeah,
cut
I
his
tend
neck.
to, yeah, I tend to agree. I've been around that situation also. Not me personally, but my friends who have Korean wives, and
Right.
yeah, there's some merit in truth to that. Yeah,
And let me,
but
guys, I
also
need to take a break.
Latino
Yeah,
Latino
Carlos, let
women.
me, I got Alistair over here, the guy who was in my site the other day, yesterday or day before.
Okay, yeah.
He's got like,
Hmm.
he's got like 8 messages on my messenger. He keeps pinging the frick out of my messenger, telling me his
Well, let's
personal
cut it.
problem. He gets somebody hacking
Yeah,
his
let's cut it
computer or some
short.
crap. Huh?
Yeah, let's cut it short. Let's cut it short anyway because I have a couple people that are waiting for me to call them
Okay.
back.
Okay, well,
So
let's cut it short then, and we'll do another live feed another time. But I'm going to go handle this
great.
guy.
Yeah, look forward to it.
It's almost an hour anyway, so it's
Sorry.
great. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming in,
sorry we missed
guys.
a lot of comments.
I don't think we did. I think I caught up on all of them.
Uh,
Uh,
well, I need new
yeah.
glasses. I can't
No,
read half of it.
I went back through. I got them all, I think. Uh,
48 cans of red
anyway,
tail.
I think we're okay. Barry will come back. We won't be here, but we can catch up with Barry later. I'm sure we will.
Okay.
Uh, I'm just looking back through the comments right now, guys. I believe we caught them all. Barry said, I did see Karen get upset at James a few times. Yeah, she gets upset with him, but she's really not that upset. She's pretty calm when she gets upset compared to some ladies.
It's
Uh,
yeah. She
and I
handles
was
herself
saying
very well.
one thing. Ray said they lowered the age for the SRB to 40. He's 37, so they lowered the age to 40 now for the SRB. That guy, he's got 10 messages on me now. But anyway, I think we pretty much got
That's good.
everything because Ray said Barry search Facebook. Uh, I think we pretty much covered everything. If we missed anything, guys, go ahead and speak up now and let's cover it and then we'll get out of here. Ray, send Colonel my Facebook link. Okay, I will do. I'll send it over to Colonel. So
I think I have. I thought I did that already, Ray. I'll go in and
it's
look on my face. I don't
Ray
do
Moore.
Facebook a lot, but I'll check it.
Ray Moore. Moore. Ray Moore. Yeah. Uh,
Okay, I'll look at
Ray
it.
said my coworker was married to a Thai lady. Yeah, even after 2 weeks in Thailand, I didn't see anything different that attracted me more to a Thai lady than it would attract me to a Filipino lady. Nothing, you know.
I
I
have a
really didn't.
comment. I have a comment on that if you have time. But
Yeah, go ahead.
you know,
Go ahead.
my my difference is what I observed, and this may not be the same for everybody. Is the affection level, and in Thailand, the women there, they will take care of all your needs in the bedroom, just to keep it blunt. They'll take care of all your needs and everything, but you're not going to have the level of affection that you're going to get from what been my experience with a Filipino. That's
Okay.
just keeping it blunt and to the short and to the
I
point.
I did
The
see
affection
Ray
level
says he.
is, and they do hold hands over. My experience, they hold hands. They do. There's no PDA, public displays of affection in Thailand. It's not. It's
Yeah,
frowned upon. It's taboo. Over here,
same
you
here.
can do it if they want to do it. And I've
Yeah, but
I've had girls want to hold my hand and stuff, and I think it's great.
uh,
You won't get that in Thailand.
yeah,
Very rare, unless you're the tour, unless you're like Pattaya or somewhere like that, and then you got to make sure that it's a girl.
yeah.
So
My wife holds my hand still. She holds my arm. She holds my hand. We're walking. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
Yeah, yeah.
all right, guys.
You won't get
Ray
that
said
with
that
all Thai
Vietnamese.
ladies.
Ray said Vietnamese women have the worst tempers. I don't know because I know no Vietnamese women, so I can't even comment on that direction. I want to go to Vietnam, but I'm going to watch my P's and Q's so I don't piss any Vietnamese off.
Uh,
But I want to take my
I'm just
family
gonna
with me when I go.
I'm just gonna clear all that up by saying this, Mike. The ones that have the worst tempers are the ones you're with.
Okay, there you go.
You know,
Yeah, I
that
don't have to
just
worry about
that
it then.
covers it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the one you're with.
I was married to a Mexican before PK. I mean, from Tijuana, Mexican. I was married to one, and they have a little bit of a temper. But you know what? This is a very, very kind lady. She didn't. I don't think I did anything really to piss her off. In 10 years of marriage, I never really made her mad at me. So
and I
anyway,
and I also think the Tompo, Mike. I also think Tompo. That could be a good thing. It really can. It could
it's
be
a
a
good
good
thing,
thing in the right
of
situation.
course.
Yes, in the right
Keeps your
situation.
brain.
That's it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing to say now. Oh, that's just thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Throw you away
Finally.
to leave me. I'm like,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I got in trouble this time. One time I said, "Oh, is that all I had to do to get you to be quiet?"
Boy, didn't blow up.
That didn't go over too
Well,
well.
okay. Well, anyway, let's go let you make your phone calls, Colonel. And Ray says tempo is a good thing for sure. You guys take care on that
Yeah,
note. God bless you. We love you. And we're going
yeah.
to
God
catch up with
bless.
you on the next live feed. In the meantime, you guys, Barry, just go watch some videos. You'll learn a lot about the province where I live. And Ray has some other information in his channel for you for healthcare and things like that, and things you might be
Yeah, Ray's
interested
got a
in
lot of.
as far as other parts or aspects of living here. So everybody take care. Until next time, we'll catch you on the backside. You guys go do something
Take
for
care,
somebody.
everybody.
Don't expect anything in return. All right. Bye bye.
God bless. Yeah.
God bless you. Bye bye.